All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And, I just wanted to speak briefly on recently, there's, I watched a few videos on it, but you pretty much had these individuals posing with fringes on, with guns, and all of these things, as if it's it's a flex or something of that sort. Okay, which I mean, in all actuality, like the elder Manatazakba said, there's no point in trying to reach them, because we've said it over and over and over again, going through various different scriptures, but they just don't take heed at the end of the day. And something you have to think about is, first off, violence is not fun. Violence is not pretty, is not fun, especially when you're on the receiving end of it. And you have a lot of Israelites that, like to really put on a tough guy act, and push that vibe of, kill, this, that, and the third. But at the end, on a carnal note, not on a wait for Yahweh Shai to come, he'll give us the power, and no, more on like I got it now, I got that heat, all of that stuff. But in actuality, you don't, because when you pay attention to the spirit, we understand that the spirit is much more powerful than anything in the carnal realm. And to be an Israelite, or to be a man of the Lord, your power lies in the spirit. Okay? Because you look at Elijah, for example, or matter of fact, even Yahushua, where you can make things happen by words, through faith. Now that's actual power. That's true power. Okay? Calling down fire from heaven, that's true power. Not a man-made, a pistol or whatever that Esau made. The Most High put it into his mind to put together. That's not our strength. That's not our power. Now, the Lord is going to bring the heat. Okay, so and keep in mind that when that heat comes, you're not going to want to be on the front lines. When that heat comes, it's going to look for people who like to pose as if they want the heat from the Lord, from Esau. If Esau rolled down on a lot of these Israelites who walk around with that kind of appearance, you wouldn't stand a chance. They wouldn't even need to send in an army. They would just need to send in a few men, okay, and you're done. They break into your crib. When your guard is down, you sleep or whatever the case is, you're completely through. You sleeping in your boxer shorts, and here it is, there's a gun to your head or a knife to your neck. You wouldn't stand a chance. We don't stand a chance against Esau in the carnal sense. And that's why we're not even trying to fight Esau in the carnal sense. All right, it's completely stupid to try and even give off that appearance as though that is something that, is cool, or, makes me look like, it's completely ridiculous, man. Let's start off with a quick precept, and honestly, this is to those of us who are in the know. The Lord does this to show examples of how not to be. Okay, that's not the right image, the right appearance to be in. The scriptures talk about not giving any appearance of evil. Knowing your enemy should wisen you up to know how you ought to move, how you ought to behave, and how you ought to appear. Okay. Now, this is the book of, I believe this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. And actually, verse 3, it says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." Because the same power that will deliver us from famine, will deliver us from the sword, will deliver us from pestilence, will deliver us from everything, death, all of that. But if you choose this day your power to be the sword, as Yahushua said, "He that liveth with the sword or by the sword shall die by the sword." The sword will not save you from pestilence. You can't shoot your way out of a famine. You can't shoot your way out of the nuclear missiles. You can't do any of that. Okay? And try as much as you may There is no justification. But you're free to do as you will. But when the Lord brings a whole, new level of judgment, it's okay for the Lord to say, well, you don't need me. You don't need my protection. You seem to have been able to afford your own. But those that put their faith in me, those that rely on me, right, on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, those are the ones who the Lord is going to protect. Because they're the ones who are seeking protection of the Lord, not in anything else. Now, there's a scripture that says, let me let me see if I can find this verse. Salakia, let's see. Unto blood. There's a precept, I believe this should be in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 4. And as it says, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And who knows, the time is coming when there are going to be certain situations that arise. You might find yourself in a position where the Lord wants to test you, that way, where you may need to lose some blood. You may need to lose some flesh in order to resist that sin. Okay, whatever it is they're trying to force you or entice you to do. Okay. And when that time comes, trust and believe that ain't no weapons and none of that is going to deliver you in that time. Okay, the real physical hardships haven't even hit yet. And all this appearance of this and that and this, it's all going to fly away. It's going to disappear very quickly. When the king of terror starts to show his judgment upon the earth, that's all going to disappear very quickly. Because to be honest, it's just folly. The Lord doesn't look at that as anything to have respect upon. It's just folly. Okay? He looks down at it like, what the hell is this shit? Okay, where's your faith at? Is your faith in me or is your faith in weapons? And ultimately, it's just not a good look. And yes, the look does matter. Okay, it does matter. So now let's go. I don't have many precepts for this. I just wanted to just, mention this, but I want to get the book of, because ultimately a lot of people don't take the words written in this book as seriously as they should. They don't mix it with faith. Okay. They don't mix it with faith. As a matter of fact, let me read this. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 14. It says, if ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of God resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. Now, if you are supposed to represent the Lord said, look at how the Lord, moved back then. What happened when Peter cut off the servant of the high priest's ear when they came to grab up the Lord? The Lord basically rebuked them for that, told them not to do it. Put the ear back on, right? The Lord had the power to smoke them, but he didn't, because it wasn't time yet. The Lord didn't come on the scene at that time to put on a appearance or a show, or no. That's why he took the low route. And same here. All right, and this time, now the time is not yet. Okay, the time is not yet. So as it says, if we're to represent the Lord doesn't require us to represent him looking as though we're some, I don't even know what to put, gangs or something like that. Okay, we're men of the Lord. We're to have a holy, which means separate, sanctified. We're supposed to be separate from the world. That is a purely worldly look, purely worldly, mindset to be in. To even want to be comfortable, pushing that kind of vibration out there. But hey, at the end of the day, like I said, the scriptures say that let him that is him that is just be just still, him that is filthy, let him be filthy still, him that is holy, let him be holy still, and vice versa, him that is not holy, let him be not holy still. So, I mean, everybody has a lot to play. Okay, you go back, even during the time of the 70 AD, 66 to 70 AD, you had the Zealots, you had the Sicarii, you had all of them, and they had their lot to play, where they were even killing fellow Israelites, trying to provoke that spirit and incite war, to the point where they called, when you read the history, they called the Edomites, all right, to basically come to their aid. All right. So, I mean, in every generation, you have those that the Lord has set up who are going to obey his word and do the things that please him. And you have those that are set up as bad examples. They're bad examples, and then they're going to be made examples of as to why you don't do this. So continuing, it says here, verse 15, 1 Peter 4:15, it says, "But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed." Now, Christian meaning a follower of the anointed, right? It says here, not to be ashamed. Let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf. Verse 17, it says, For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Okay, so there you have it, man. Judgment is going to begin here, and there's a lot of bad apples, okay, figuratively speaking, that the Lord needs to cleanse. Major house cleaning. Okay, and when that judgment goes out, people will truly understand why the Lord is called the King of Terrors and why he's not a respecter of persons. So anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Just had a few words on that. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.